Jaron Boots Ennis message. Errol Spence next, Crawford after. The longer you wait, the worse it's gonna be. What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, so recently, Fight Hype did an interview with Jaron Boots Ennis. He was working out for his next fight. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his opponent's name because it's going to be completely wrong. So we'll just call him Jaron Ennis' next opponent. But Boots was training, doing some training for his next fight along with his pops, Bonzi Ennis. And man, he had a lot to say about Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, Keith Thurman, Udanius Ugas. He spoke about them all. But he put a lot of emphasis on Errol Spence Jr. because there's some movement when it comes to the IBF and what their ruling was. Now, I know a lot of people are reporting that Spence might be stripped of the IBF title. Some people saying Spence might vacate the title to avoid Boots. Some people believe he's going to hold on to all the belts and fight Thurman. He's going to go through the Thurman route. But we all know if he goes the Thurman route, then there's a chance he might get stripped by the IBF. Now, what I've been saying for the past few videos is that Errol Spence does have an out in the form of Al Heyman could pay some step-aside money to Keith Thurman to keep that fight from going off. Now, he could pay step-aside money to Boots, and this might be why Boots is putting his foot on Errol's neck so hard, is that he wants PBC to offer him some type of step-aside money instead of Errol Spence being stripped. So if they pay Boots, potentially Boots might step aside and Errol Spence could potentially not be stripped or have to vacate the IBF title very soon. Now, this is all if Errol Spence decides to fight Boots next, because it's all based off of Errol Spence's decision. We don't know what Errol Spence's decision is going to be yet, and he has a lot on his plate. There's Amino Santonillos, there's Virgil Ortiz, the potential of a Terence Crawford fight. He has Keith Thurman standing out there. And now he has Jaron Boots Ennis, who actually, because he's in the IBF and ranked the highest in the IBF, should have been placed first. But the sanctioning bodies sometimes do what they want to do. It's not always a set in stone process when it comes to boxing, which makes a lot of people feel like the sport is corrupted. So what did Boots have to say exactly? Boots said that he would love to fight Errol Spence next, and he just has to wait and see what Spence's decision is going to be. But he definitely said that he doesn't feel like Spence is scared of him, which was interesting for Boots to say. He said he doesn't feel like any fighter is scared to fight another fighter. It's all a matter of timing and whether their schedules line up. He said he feels like Spence is a stand-up guy and will give him a shot as long as the scheduling part is lining up correctly. So, Boots is a likable guy, man. Boots is he's not a hater. Boots is not afraid of anybody, so Boots ain't making no excuses. Boots is extremely likable. Quiet guy, humble dude. Just wants to get in the ring and prove himself. It's basically what he was saying. Hey, you give me my shot, I'm going to prove myself. Now, he did have something else to say about Spence. He said, when he gets in the ring, I'm getting in there with the intentions of killing. He said, I don't want to kill, but I will hurt you to prove my point. He said he's getting in there with the intentions of, if he has to, he's going to kill you. So, those are Boots' words when it comes to Errol Spence Jr. Those are Boots' thoughts and hopes and wishes when it comes to his next fight and the potential of it being Errol Spence Jr. Now, he was asked, would you fight Bud Crawford? He said, yeah, I'll fight Bud Crawford, but the possibility of that happening isn't very high because we all know Terence Crawford has chosen to dodge a lot of his tougher fights, and Jaron Ennis isn't technically number one in the WBO. Now, in most people's minds, he's been elevated because of what's going on with Virgil and Amino Santos in the WBA. He was number 2 in the WBO, but in a lot of people's minds, they feel like he was elevated, but I don't think he was actually elevated yet. So Terence Crawford, there is nothing hanging over his head when it comes to making a Jaron Ennis fight. So I'm not sure if Crawford will voluntarily take that fight, because the way they were making it seem, it would have to be a voluntary situation. Now, he was also asked about Yordenis Ugas. Would he fight Yordenis Ugas? He said he likes the Ugas fight. He said Ugas is a little bit old, but that guy can fight. And if they were to make a potential Ugas fight, he would have no problem with taking that fight. He said he just wants to fight the best competition out there. He said, in his own words, I'm not going backwards anymore in my career. If you don't feed me the best, I just won't be fighting. I'm going to take the best fights that are out there from now on. So I would have to take that as either he plans on fighting one of the 2 champions, or he plans on fighting the other 3 that are in the top 5. And that's a tall task for anybody, but if anybody can prove it, it is the heavy-hitting switch hitter named Jaron Boots Ennis. Now, y'all got to go check out the Fight Hype, interview and training session, because Boots is throwing some leather in there, man. And he definitely, when you see his body and the balance that he has, his ability to throw with both hands, you're going to start to fall in love with Jaron Boots Ennis. Now, I know most of my audience is Errol Spence fans, but you cannot deny the talent level, the skill sets, the ability, the look, the shape, the physique of Jaron Boots Ennis. It's all encompassing. So as a fan, you should be happy you have another great welterweight to lay your hat on and get some great fights out of. Even if you're an Errol Spence or a Terence Crawford fan, you should be excited about the future for the welterweight division. And lastly, he was asked about Keith One Time Thurman. That's Bum Time. So he was asked about Keith Thurman and whether he would fight Keith Thurman. This is really when he mentioned that he doesn't want to go backwards. He said Thurman's a good fighter, but Thurman, he feels like it's past his prime, and Thurman's only looking basically for a paycheck and a payday before he leaves the sport. So that was one of the honorable mentions by Boots Ennis. He didn't throw no shade at Thurman. He just says that he doesn't want to go backwards, and in his mind, Thurman is a step backwards. Ugas ain't even a step backwards, but Thurman is. So for all the Thurman fans out there, if you're looking for him to take on Boots, which I would love to see, I would much rather see Thurman take on Virgil than Boots first, but if that was to happen, I wouldn't be angry or anything about it. I wouldn't have anything bad to say about it. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me, share, subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. More than likely get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there. And we are man.
Everybody wanna hop like me, so speak. Everybody wanna hop like me, so speak. Well, I bet you can't hop like me, gotta hop like me, you ain't hot like me. Yeah. It's Louis Keys and the Her Man, pulling up to the spot in the Her van, looking for a bad chick that ain't scared to dance. Get her so wet that she need a new pair of pants. She soggy, only player in the club sipping on sake. Eyes looking like he Mr. Miyagi, blowing on bomb trees, flowing on South Beats. How you gonna stop me? It's not an option. I'ma get it poppin'. You can take her shopping, she still let me knocked in. She know I'm just trying to win. She ain't trying to bend, I ain't trying to spin. If she tell a player no, I ain't trying again. I'ma just move on and I'm trying to friend. It's your boy Louis Keys, I'm a shit starter. Young player with a hop like Vince Carter.
Niggas always wanna steal my hop, cause they like my style, wanna steal my hop. Hey, even though them niggas still gon' flop, they can jock my swag, cause it's still my hop. Hey, ain't nobody got a hop like me, ain't nobody make the whole world bop like me. Hey, my wrist word make them stop like freeze, got people overseas tryna hop like me. Hey, I ain't even done yet, new single off the chain, it ain't even done yet. I'm no lie, been there and done that, hot boy in the sky, catch me where the sun at. My hood hops like whoa, sleep stay pops sip crisp, piss smoke. Got jury in my mouth, so my spit might glow.